Hey everyone, welcome back to Language Unlocked. I'm Jake, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only Nina.
Hey. Happy you're here with us today. We're diving into a topic that I think is going to hit home for a lot of people. Don't waste your time. Learn English the smart way.
That's right. And honestly, Nina, if I had $1 for every hour I wasted memorizing random word lists as a kid, I could probably buy myself a small island by now.
Or at least a really nice dinner. But seriously, Jake, I think we all have those memories of grinding away at English without seeing much progress. Why do you think so many people fall into the trap of wasting time?
Oh, absolutely. It's because we've been taught that more effort equals more results. Like, if you spend 5 hours with flashcards, you're supposed to get better. But the problem is, if you're not using the right methods, you're just spinning your wheels.
So true. It's like being on a treadmill. You're moving, but you're not going anywhere. So, Jake, what's the smart way then? What's the magic sauce?
Great question. The smart way to learn English is all about efficiency, focusing on what works best for you, not just what's traditional. For example, instead of memorizing vocabulary in isolation, you learn it in context, through stories or conversations. Sure thing. Let's say you want to remember the word enthusiastic. Instead of just repeating it over and over, you put it into a real-life sentence. Nina is enthusiastic about trying new foods. Now, you're connecting the word to a person, a feeling, and an action all at once.
Thanks. And it's true, by the way. But that makes sense. You're making the word mean something in your world, not just on a list.
Exactly. And there's actually research behind this. Studies show that our brains remember things better when they're part of a story or a personal connection, rather than random, disconnected facts.
So, story time wins over cramming. But what about grammar? That's where a lot of people get stuck. Do we really need to slog through endless worksheets?
Honestly, no. And here's a secret. Native speakers mess up grammar all the time, and they still communicate just fine. The trick is to learn grammar and notice how it works in real conversations, TV shows, or podcasts, instead of drilling rules for hours.
So, basically, watch more Netflix and call it homework?
In moderation, yes. But the key is to watch, actively pause, rewind, repeat phrases. Notice patterns. For example, you might hear, "I've been waiting for you." That's present perfect continuous. Rather than memorizing the rule, you remember how it's actually used.
That's so much less painful. And it sounds more fun. I remember when I tried to learn phrasal verbs by just reading a list, my brain just refused. But when I heard pick up in a movie, it just clicked.
Exactly. Phrasal verbs are a great example. On a list, they're confusing. But in context, can you pick up some milk on your way home? Suddenly, it makes sense. You got it. And here's another smart strategy. Focus on high-frequency words and phrases. Did you know that in English, just 1,000 words make up about 80% of everyday conversations?
Wait, only 1,000? That sounds way less overwhelming.
Yeah. If you master those, you'll be able to understand most daily interactions. Think about words like get, make, go, take. They pop up everywhere.
So instead of aiming for the biggest vocabulary, aim for the most useful vocabulary.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even smarter. Learn the chunks or collocations, not just single words. For example, instead of learning advice, learn give advice, take advice, ask for advice.
That's genius. Because nobody says, I advise you. It's, I give you advice.
Right. It's like learning dance moves, not just knowing the names of the steps. You want to be able to move naturally, not just memorize the terminology.
Speaking of moving, what about speaking? A lot of our listeners say they understand English pretty well, but they freeze up when it's time to talk.
Ah, classic. That's because passive skills, like listening and reading, are usually easier to practice alone. But speaking requires a different approach. My advice? Start small. Practice language shadowing. Repeat after a native speaker, sentence by sentence. Exactly. You can use YouTube videos, podcasts, or even movie scenes. Pause, listen, repeat. Don't worry about perfection. Focus on rhythm, intonation, and getting comfortable moving your mouth in English.
I like that. It feels less scary than jumping into a full-on conversation right away.
Definitely. And as you get braver, find a language partner or join conversation groups online. Even talking to yourself in the mirror works. The key is to get your brain and mouth working together.
I always talk to myself in the mirror, so I guess I'm halfway there.
There you go. And here's a fun fact. Research shows that speaking aloud, even to yourself, helps with memory and confidence.
Okay, so far we've got learning in context, focusing on high-frequency words, using chunks, and practicing speaking, even with ourselves. Any other smart hacks?
Yes. Don't forget about active listening when you listen to English. Don't just let it wash over you. Try to catch specific details, like how someone greets a friend or how they ask for directions. Jot down phrases you like.
So, listen with a purpose, not just background noise.
Exactly. And you can turn it into a game. For example, every time you hear a new phrase, try to use it 3 times a day.
Ooh, challenge accepted. I might start keeping a phrase of the day notebook.
That's a fantastic idea. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are proof you're learning.
I'm so glad you said that. Sometimes I feel embarrassed when I mess up, but you're right. It's how we improve.
Absolutely. I'll never forget the time I told someone I'm boring instead of I'm bored. The look on their face was priceless.
Oh, I've done that too. Or once I meant to say, I'm full after a meal, but accidentally said, I'm pregnant. That got some surprised looks.
Classic language fail. But those are the moments you never forget, and you never make that mistake again.
So, listeners, we want to hear your funniest language fails. Share them with us on social media or by email. We might read yours on a future episode.
Definitely. Okay, Nina, let's check out today's audience question. We got an email from Anna in Brazil who asks, I have limited time to study English because of work and family. What's the most efficient way to make progress in just 20 minutes a day?
That's such a good question. Jake, what do you think?
Great question, Anna. If you only have 20 minutes, make every minute count. Pick one real-world activity each day. One day, listen to a short podcast and jot down new phrases. Another day, do language shadowing with a video. Another day, write a short journal entry in English. Rotate these activities so you hit listening, speaking, reading, and writing over the week.
So, variety is key, but keep it focused. I like that.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of consistency. 20 minutes a day beats 2 hours once a week every time.
So true. And to everyone listening, if you have questions, send them in. We love answering on the show.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up, let's hit our smart way tips one more time, Nina style.
Okay. Number 1, learn in context, stories, movies, real-life examples.
Number 2, focus on high-frequency words and phrases, not just obscure vocabulary.
Number 3, practice speaking, even if it's just to yourself or your cat.
Number 4, listen actively and try to use new phrases in your own sentences.
Number 5, don't be afraid to make mistakes, laugh at them, learn from them, and move on.
That's the smart way. Don't waste your time on boring drills. Make English a living, breathing part of your day.
And most of all, have fun with it. The more you enjoy the process, the faster you'll learn.
Couldn't agree more. If you found today's episode helpful, please hit follow, share it with a friend, and leave us a review. It helps more learners find us.
Tell us your funniest English mistakes or the smart hacks that work for you. We can't wait to hear from you.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, learn smart, not hard.